Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel.
I had to put on my reaching hat. Hear me out. Thank you for clicking. Today I want to talk about Chad's preliminary hearing. Before I begin, you guys know I have to give my thanks to my returning subscribers, old and new. I want to thank you guys so much for your support. And also you guys, some of you guys are really funny. Like, I get some comments that seriously crack me up and I love that. And if you are new here, hi. This is me. I wear a tinfoil hat and I talk about true crime and conspiracies. Why? Because it makes me laugh. And over here on my channel, we like to laugh, we analyze, and we take facts and we theorize. With all that being said, let's dive in. Now, allegedly, don't sue me, my conspiracy. I am of the belief, based on what was revealed in the research that I did, that, brace yourselves, I believe that this was a ritual sacrifice offering type of thing. And I'll explain to you why. Hear me out, okay? I have my receipts. So the first thing I want to do is I want to play you some clips about how Tylee's remains were found. And I will warn you, it is disturbing, it is graphic, and I will be playing it, so that's your warning.
What appeared to be a mass of burnt flesh and charred bone.
For lack of a better term, it was kind of a mass of dismembered human remains. Burnt, partially burnt. It was kind of hard to recognize, like, what are we looking at here initially?
There was a melted green bucket that it appeared that the burnt flesh had been placed in. Under the bucket was a partial human skull.
And at the very bottom of this mass, we find, this melted green bucket. And then to the bottom, the side of that green bucket, we eventually find a skull. And then to the side of that skull, we find a mandible with some teeth.
Okay, so just so that we're clear, my understanding is that there's a mound of that burnt flesh and bone, and then you've got some sort of melted bucket, and then the head is underneath. Now I want to read you some scriptures, and I want you to compare this with the manner in which Tylee's remains were arranged. Okay, let's go to number 6 here in Leviticus chapter 1. And he shall flay the burnt offering and cut it into his pieces. And the sons of Aaron the priest shall put fire upon the altar and lay the wood in order upon the fire. And the priests, Aaron's sons, shall lay the parts, the head and the fat, in order upon the wood that is on the fire, which is upon the altar. But his inwards and his legs shall he wash in water, and the priest shall burn all on the altar to be a burnt sacrifice, an offering made by fire of a sweet savor unto the Lord. My arm, it hurts from the reach. I recognize this could be a reach, but at the same time, I've always felt like there was something sacrificial, because if you think about it, what is the motive? There's no life insurance, because if they're getting any money from Joe Ryan, it's to take care of Tylee. If Tylee's no longer there, why does Lori get money? Same thing with JJ, right? If JJ's no longer there, Lori doesn't get money. Could it be she was just trying to get back at Kay for getting the money? Well, then why did she get rid of Tylee? I've always wondered if there was some sort of weird sacrificial thing here. Now I want to talk about JJ. I need to explain to you the significance of the date of September 22nd and 23rd. Now, I do have a video going much more in depth into it. It's called something like Strange Coincidences. One thing I could never understand is why did they choose to do what they did to JJ in the same exact weekend that Melanie and David Warwick were visiting? Why, of all the weekends, why when you have people visiting from out of town who are staying in the same apartment, that you guys have to now come up with this story the next day about him crawling on the cabinets and knocking over the picture of Jesus? Why would they not postpone it? Why did they have to do it even with people there? And I could only think of two logical reasons. And if you think of more, please let me know. But one was maybe they weren't in fact hiding it from anybody and that everybody had agreed to do it. Or the second reason, which I think is more likely, is that the date itself is significant. Like September 22nd and 23rd are significant. This date is actually extremely significant, in particular to the LDS doomsday preppers who really think that the second coming is near, and that they are on this forum all talking about when it could be. And there's a big theory on there that believes that on September 22nd, the world was going to end, or 23rd, and that it coincides with the founding of Mormonism. In this timeline here, it says the Joseph Smith timeline. And if you look over here, there are two dates, September 22nd, 1823, and September 23rd, 1823. And the event says that Moroni appeared to Joseph Smith, and then the day after that is when he first saw the golden plates. So he got some sort of revelation after the 22nd. Why is this significant? This is all connected, and it's also connected to the date of September 22nd and 23rd. Let's talk about AVOW. Now, if you don't know, I also undercover went and joined AVOW, and I got some information. Chad was huge on AVOW. He was a well-known member, and actually he was revered on AVOW. Best friends with the owner, very close. Owner was defending him. I have a whole video on it. On AVOW, they always talk about speculations of when the end times could be. And a lot of people were talking about the pinnacle, or the pivotal month of September. And if you look here at this post, this person says, "No one has asked me, and I'm no one special, but I do believe we're in the midst of the tribulation. Here's why. It has to do with the Revelation 12 sign of Virgo, which happened 23 September 2017. As I have posted before, this date corresponds exactly with the date that Joseph Smith received the golden plates. Of course, it's 190 years apart, but the date is the same. Where do I get this math? Joseph had the first vision in 1820. Moroni appeared to him in his bedroom 3 years later. He went to the hill Cumorah and was told he could not remove them, but to come back every year for 4 years. The Joseph Smith history verse, on the 22nd day of September 1827, the same messenger delivered them the plates up to me." And there's more here if you guys want to read it, screenshot and read it. So you've got this theory on the end of the world being on 22nd of September based on the Revelation and the constellation Virgo, and that they're somehow symbolic, and it coincides with Moroni and translating the plates, which happens to be, all those things happen to be the same exact date that Lori and Chad and Alex conspired, allegedly, don't sue me, my conspiracy, to do what they did to JJ. And again, why would they insist on doing it when there were so many witnesses who are now testifying against them in court? Wouldn't they have done it on another date unless that date was significant, right? Okay, but there's more. I want to play you some clips about the manner in which JJ's body was found before they actually got to the body, the burial, right? The burial, there's something significant here, and I want you to listen.
They removed some topsoil that was right underneath the sod, which revealed 3 large white rocks, flat rocks.
Okay, and can you explain for the court how those rocks were oriented?
In a row. So there was a large rock, a large rock, and a large rock.
Okay, so there are 3 flat white stones. Now, oddly enough, I didn't even think this was significant at all until I was doing research on the 22nd of September with Joseph Smith and the golden plates. And there were all these drawings of that incident, and they were flat white stones that the golden plates were buried and then covered with the flat white stones. And I was like, oh my God, For real. There's something else that happened on September 22nd. There's a discrepancy in who was there. I'll play the clips.
On the Sunday, the 22nd, did David and Chad go to deal with some real estate matters together?
We went to a lot that was close to Mr. Daybell's home. Chad wanted to show this piece of land to David, and he encouraged him to consider building on that land.
Okay. It's your boyfriend. Is your boyfriend in the real estate business, ma'am?
General contractor.
Was Lori Vallow present for that?
No.
Was Alex present for that?
Yes.
And who was present at that real estate discussion?
First, it was Lori Vallow, Alex Cox, Melanie Gibb, and then Chad showed up later with a realtor.
When I heard that, it made me kind of think, okay, well, is this the reason why they had Melanie and David come down on the same exact day to like pitch them this thing? Because he brought a realtor with him to there, so he had to have made this appointment, right? It's not just like, hey, all of a sudden I call a realtor, they're there the same day. It doesn't work like that. They had to make an appointment. And it seems like what they did to JJ was planned. I don't think it was last minute, you know? So was this all part of their plan? Did they really think they had this like master plan that nobody could find out because something was built over where the remains were? Let's move on. Now I want to talk about the weird things that came up under cross-examination about Melanie's relationship with the kids.
You had a poor relationship with Tylee, and isn't that correct?
I would say I had pretty much a no relationship with Tylee.
Both of you weren't particularly fond of each other, is that correct?
Objection
just
asked
did
and
not.
answered.
It's no surprise that she didn't necessarily want to be around you, did she?
Objection calls for speculation.
How would you describe your relationship with Tylee, other than not at all? Did you care to be around her or not?
Very
Objection
little.
asked and answered.
Okay. I'm fine,
Sustained.
Judge. I'm going to move on. Were you familiar with any sort of difficulty with the relationship between Miss Gibb and Tylee?
Yeah, Melanie just said that Tylee was, I'm trying to remember how she said it.
Your Honor, I'm going to object. This calls for hearsay.
Sustained.
How would you describe your relationship with JJ?
I tried to communicate, but he didn't reciprocate, so there was not a relationship.
You have an autistic child as well, do you not, ma'am?
Correct.
Okay.
Mr. Warwick, have you ever met Tylee Ryan?
No,
Have you met JJ Vallow?
yes,
Did you interact with him at all?
and I tried to a couple of times.
Okay. How did that go?
It was like I wasn't even there. He didn't acknowledge me at all.
It is my personal belief, however, that this group in general were a lot more concerned with, you know, podcasts and going to conferences and writing books and, you know, that whole thing. I feel like that was really their interest in this group that they were in and how they had elevated themselves among these people in this group. I think that that was more fulfilling and more what they were focused on than taking care of the kids. So could this be a reason as to why nobody kind of cared that the kids weren't around and they just kind of believed whatever story Lori gave them? Maybe they didn't want them around anyway.
He's in the way of our mission, so we need to send him to Kay's house. That was kind of like the idea, is what can we do? And so we talked about Kay, and we talked about some of her family members that could actually take him on. And so we talked about, you know, what that conversation would be like with Kay, and she wasn't sure if Kay would really receive him. And so we talked about just different ideas about, you know, him going there.
This next revelation, I think it shocked everybody, not just me. And that is the fact that Melanie Gibb lied to police and actually said that she did have JJ when she didn't.
They tried calling me, and once I believe they left a text.
Okay. And did you respond to them that day?
Not the Rexburg police, I did not.
Okay. How come? Is there a reason?
Well, first of all, Chad tells me not to answer it, and then Lori tells me that her child is in danger. I told him that I had been with JJ, but that he was back with Lori.
When you said you had been with him, what did you mean by that?
That he was with me.
Ms. Gibb, had you recently had JJ with you?
No,
So when you told Detective Pillar that you had, was that an accurate statement?
no, it was not.
Okay. Is there a reason you told Detective Pillar you had him?
Yes, because Lori was misleading and she was manipulating me.
Melanie Gibb was a lot more devoted, devotee, follower, cult, allegedly, my conspiracy, don't sue me, lied to police about having JJ, didn't answer the call when they told her not to answer the call, and she only did that secret recording and went to police when she was implicated. But before she was implicated, no problem. How long would they have all waited? If Lori had never said that JJ was with Melanie, would Melanie have ever spoken to police and told them what she knows about the zombie stuff and all that? I don't know. So speaking about that secret call, I want to give you an overview of where it is on the timeline. November 26th is when police came knocking on Lori's door and they had asked her where was JJ, and it was on that day, November 26th, that Lori told police that JJ was with Melanie at Frozen 2, right? We all know that story. On December 8th, so that is 12 days after November 26th when Melanie Gibb is implicated. This is also when she lies to Gilbert police because she's in Gilbert. That's her jurisdiction. She lies to them and tells them this is JJ was with me, but he's now in Rexburg. And then she ignores the Rexburg police. 12 days later, she makes this secret phone call. She records it. She calls Chad. 3 days after this call is when Tammy's body is exhumed. And we all know that a day later, Alex Cox dies. This call, I think, is very crucial to understanding how those events unfolded. If you've already heard the call, I'm going to put a timestamp right here for you to skip to. Here is the call.
This is a recording on December 8th at 3:43 p.m.
Hello, sweet Melanie.
Hi, Chad. Hey, Lori. How
Hey,
are
let me put on speaker.
Oh, okay. We're enough with the phone. How are you guys?
We're okay. How are you doing, babe?
I'm doing pretty good, thanks. I was wondering, where are you guys?
We're just hanging out.
Hanging out? Are you in Idaho?
We're near Idaho.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to ask you a question, if you don't mind, Lori.
Yeah, of course, honey.
I want to know, you remember we talked about JJ going to Kay's house, and you told me they went there, and now he's not there? I was wondering what happened.
Well, I had to move him somewhere else because of her actions. So,
well, I was wondering why you told the police why he was with me.
I just needed to have somebody so I wouldn't have to tell them where he really was because they were going to tell Kay where he is.
Oh, yeah. So do you think it's like your family, or, like your family, your dad, or, those people?
Family, well, not my whole family, but as you know, most of my family is working against me and with her, basically.
Yeah. I did have a question that I asked Al at one point, your brother, if I wanted to know, like where he was, and he said I did not want to know, and that he could not be found. So what does that mean?
I don't know why he would say that, but it's the same story. Like I don't even want Al to know. I don't want anybody to know, so that nobody has to be worried about it. I mean, nobody has to be questioned about it, so he can be safe. I will do whatever the Lord needs me to do every day, so we'll see.
I just wondered if I was ever going to see you again.
Absolutely, you will.
Okay, so,
Yeah.
so maybe when they're done chasing you, you'll be able to come out again, or?
Yeah, I mean, it's a ridiculous thing for them to be working with Kay to find me. There's nothing that's gone on that's, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're working with her in some dark capacity. The police are working with her in some dark capacity. There's no reason for them to be after me in the first place.
Yeah, has she threatened you at all?
Yes, lots of times.
Oh boy, like what did she say?
Well, it's in emails and everything. So,
so like she said she was going to come take him, or she was.
There's a lot of things.
Yeah.
Nellie.
I had a scripture I wanted to share with you, if you don't mind.
I'd love it.
I was thinking about some of the things you guys have gone through, and I saw this scripture today, and I want you to
Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question about a scripture. Okay. So, did Alma turn himself into King Noah, or what was he required to do?
Well, King Noah was incredibly wicked.
Yes.
And so he fled his evil ways, which is adultery and living riotously and breaking all the commandments.
Right. So what was he required to do, Alma?
He had to go and flee so that he would be safe, and then help other people realize how jacked up the system was and the government was.
What about Moroni? What was he required to do at the end?
To carry on those plates and bury them. That was his responsibility.
What did he have to do to do that? What did he have to do to do that? Did he hide?
He had to hide. He had to hide because they were so. Everybody was killing everybody in the society. Everybody was dying. They were killing all the Nephites.
And the scriptures had to hide in the cavity of a rock by day and go out by night.
The prophets did.
They did.
Yeah. Okay, so thank you for sharing that with me. Okay, this scripture is just something that may be thoughtful for you. For behold, this is Doctrine and Covenants, section 3, verse 7 and 8. It says, for behold, you should not have feared man more than God. Although men set not the counsels of God and despise his words, yet you should have been faithful, and he would have extended his arm and supported you against all the fiery darts of the adversary. He would have been with you in every trouble. So when we work with the Lord and are obedient, He's going to protect us from adversarial darts and all kinds of negativity. But when we open the door to Satan, he comes in and then he attacks, and then he takes away to make it look like somebody else took it away. But that's not how God works. He doesn't work in darkness.
I agree with you 100%. And that's what the Lord is doing for me. Exactly what he's doing for me.
Oh, it just sounds weird.
We have not opened the door for darkness now. Darkness is knocking on the door all the time because that's the way dark works with the light. And I promise you that I have done nothing wrong in this case, but sometimes you have to hide in the cavity of a rock for your own life safety. And that's what the Lord requires of you sometimes. And that's how it is. And I'm sorry that's how it is, because there is a lot of darkness on the earth.
I know.
It's been after me for zero reason besides the darkness of Kay, which you already know she's dark.
I haven't engaged with her that much, so I don't know that personally.
So you don't know about her changing the thing for herself to be the beneficiary of the policy and all that stuff. None of that's dark, right?
Well, I haven't seen those documents, so I have no way of knowing.
You've seen them on my computer.
No, I have not. I haven't even looked in on your computer before. You haven't showed me anything.
I don't know why you're being controversial to me, or if you're recording this conversation for the police or whatever. I don't know what your intention is on this phone call.
Well,
but I love with all my heart, and I have forever, and I will always love you.
I appreciate those words, but if you really love me, you wouldn't have told the police that I had JJ with me. That's not what a friend does. I mean, that just makes me look weird, and it's not safe for me. That doesn't look good. I mean, you had to think of my welfare if you love me.
I do, and I did exactly what I felt the Lord was instructing me to do.
I believe that you have been very deceived. by Satan. I believe that he has tricked you. Tammy dies, and then your husband died, and then he's missing. It just doesn't sound like God's plan to me. It just sounds, it gives me a gut feeling, like in my gut, it feels weird. It doesn't feel right. I don't have peace about it. I never have felt 100% peace about it. I always felt like a little weird in my stomach about all these things.
You know me, Mel. You know me. This does not sound like you. This sounds like you've been influenced by somebody dark who wants you to believe dark things and have fear of the celestial world.
I don't have fear.
You obviously do.
No, I have a peace of conscience and I can see clearly.
Well, I'm sorry that you feel that way. I love you so much.
I know you do. I don't know what else to say.
Stand Christ when he comes again, and he's coming soon, and we will all stand there, and you will know at that point that he has supported me and has supported me the whole time, and I have not been deceived.
I just want to testify that I know Tammy and the conspiracy theories. My sister-in-law's right behind it all, and I hope that you're not being influenced by that dark team.
I don't know who she is. I'm sorry, you said your sister-in-law? I don't even know her.
Oh, I know, but she's coming up with the same type of theories. And it's just not true. My own children were there. They testified that Tammy had been getting weaker and sick, and I begged her to go to the doctor. Her heart was failing her. She was physically falling apart, but she hates doctors, and she just passed away. That's how it happened. My son Garth was right there with me the whole time. My kids were at the house within 20 minutes of her passing. There were 2 coroners. They checked her out right there on the bed. All these conspiracy theories just make me sick to my stomach. Just absolutely sick. I know I've been told for years that Tammy would pass away at a young age. And I had no idea that Lori would even be a part of my life. I just knew that my life had 2 segments. And that I know Tammy's on a special mission, and she's with my kids. She's visited them. There's so much, Melanie, that you just have to have faith. And this is not some sort of master plan. There's no way Lori and I could ever come up with this.
You can understand my concern, correct?
I can from an outside perspective, but
from someone who knows as much as you know, no, not really. But we can feel Dave's influence on you. I can feel that for sure.
He's a very good man, and he has a very strong foundation, that I know.
I know, but he seems to be the one that's putting the doubts in your mind.
No, you know what? I have come to understand that my gut feeling, I was not listening to it. And I always felt uncomfortable with many things.
Okay.
Well, I'm sorry that I included you in those teachings then for your own sake, because I wish that you didn't have as much knowledge as you have, because you will be accountable for the knowledge that you do have, Mel.
So are you.
I agree 100%.
Yeah.
100%. I have no fear.
Yeah.
I have no fear of that.
Yeah. I was reading the story of Korihor, and it is so very similar to this, you just can't see it. But he did it because he was trying to reclaim a people, and he thought at the very end, because of his carnal and natural desires, that's what influenced him. And he was very deceiving.
Carnal natural desires?
Well, honey, you got a lot of natural desires. We all know that.
That's what you think is me, Korihor? Are you kidding me right now?
I think both of you have similarities. It's in the scriptures. It's in the scriptures. And the scriptures are very powerful.
Yes, they are. I live by the scriptures, as you know.
I know, but we can wrest the scriptures for our own vain glory.
I wrested the scriptures?
We can do that. And I feel that you have to see our belief systems.
Do I wrest the scriptures? Is that what you're accusing me of at this point?
I feel that you have.
Why do you feel that way? I need an explanation on this.
Because if you look, like the scripture just
You
shared, okay,
read
the
the scriptures every single day, you know?
I know you read them. I don't doubt that. But this scripture right here says that you will be supported by all against the fiery darts of the adversary. You would have been supported if you had not opened dark portals and dark junk. You would have been safe if you would have obeyed God. He would have had your back. But you have been chased and tortured.
Whether he do this or not,
I'm sorry?
he has your back. So.
Well, if he has your back, you would not be able to tell me where you are, and we couldn't find JJ. Like, where is he? I've been asking, where is he? And you know what I mean? Like,
I can tell everything where JJ is right now, and that would not be good for JJ. So I'm sorry that you don't want me to protect my children, but I would never ask you to not protect your children.
Of course you wouldn't.
So I can tell that you're just adversarial, Mel. I love you. I'm sorry that you feel this way.
Because I actually do care. I'm sharing what I feel for you because I know your salvation's in trouble for what you've done.
If my salvation is not in trouble at all, and I think you should check that with the Lord again. Well, I'm sorry that you feel that way, sweetheart. I'm sorry that you're friends with all those who are against me. Joseph Smith's friends turned against me. I'm not friends with people that are against you. Well, you're friends with Dave, and he's apparently,
Well, David is a very righteous man, and he has a lot of beautiful experiences with the Lord, and these are not the same. You know, when you get the priesthood, that's Peter, James, and John shows up, and then he confirms all of those in the circle that are to get it, and everybody's a witness of that. Everybody's a witness that the pattern is in the scriptures. There's no witness that you ever receive what you think you received. Nobody has seen that but you. There was no witness. Anybody's never seen what you've seen or experienced what you've seen. That's your own witness, but nobody's had that.
No, God knows it, and I will never deny it. For my soul would be at stake if I did. So you can say it didn't happen to me, Mel, but if I say it, then I am accountable. You didn't witness it, but I did.
But your behaviors is not, okay, I understand that's what you believe you saw, but this is the thing, as I see, is that your behavior is not one of somebody that's seen Christ. Your behavior. What?
Never had any idea that you would be the person of all people to turn me. I cannot believe
I am asking questions, and I am concerned for you. That is what somebody does when they care.
You don't sound like you're concerned. You sound like you're accusatory. You do not sound concerned. You sound pissed off.
I'm not. I am troubled. Maybe that's the better word. Troubled. Because these things, like you being with Chad before he's even divorced, is unusual behavior for a person that's seen Jesus Christ.
I was never with him, and he was never divorced.
Honey, I've seen you guys together. So I haven't ever seen you with, I've never seen you with Chad kiss him and walk around the track at BYU with him. I never saw that. You
say you're the one that's just feeling guilty about being with someone before they were divorced.
Oh, honey. I think that's not what we're talking about here.
Well, it's not what we're talking about here. That's what I'm saying. You are going off the deep end.
Well, I'm just saying this is not a behavior of someone that sees Jesus Christ. It's not the behavior.
Really? Have you ever seen Jesus Christ? So do you know what the future behavior would be if you had seen Jesus Christ?
I know that when I pray.
Lord asks me to do every day, and he does protect me, and he is protecting me, and he will protect me against this accusation as well. And we will both stand there with him. And you tell me if I was lying or not. But we're both standing there with Jesus Christ.
Okay.
Let's talk about that November 26th when the police came knocking at Lori's door. There's body cam footage of this. Now, they wouldn't allow the media to record the actual body cam footage.
Hi, you Lori. Lori, I'm Lieutenant Ball, Police Department. How are you? You got a minute? You alone, or that help?
My brother's here.
Okay. This is Detective Stubbs.
Hello.
So, We're
Yeah,
here.
this is a big mess. I just talked to the guy on the phone.
And what did he ask you?
He was just saying that he wanted to do a well check on JJ.
So JJ would be where?
He's in Arizona.
Who's he with in Arizona?
He's with one of my friends in Arizona.
Oh.
Hi.
Oh, you got a notepad?
No? Want me to get one?
No. Come here. You mind if he comes in?
No, come on.
So,
Sorry.
who's the friend he's with?
My friend Melanie. Her
Melanie.
son has autism. Her name is Melanie Gibb. I gave him all the information on the phone.
Okay, so he can call him?
Yeah.
Or Discord.
Yeah. What is all this?
We're a little
What is
concerned
it? Why?
because, well, the officers who were here earlier
Yeah.
were checking and they got a bad vibe that like something was going on here because nobody knew anything about a child. They weren't talking.
It's because a
What's
lot of
going
stuff
on?
has gone on. If you want to know, it's a lot of stuff. So
Well, that's why we're concerned because
It's very-
it just was kind of weird.
it is very weird. I've had to move around a lot. One of my brothers is trying to kill me. Not the brother that lives here, obviously. He's kind of my protector. My other brother that was in with my husband who was trying to kill me for my $2 million life insurance policy.
Now,
So a lot of stuff has gone on in this last year. It's been a horrible year for us. I've had to move around. And so I was going to move back to Arizona, put my son back into the school there because I tried to put him in school here, public school at Kennedy.
Okay.
He went for 2 months. We tried it, but he had such a hard time. Now, the person who called is my sister-in-law, but she's his natural grandmother. He's adopted by us. Okay, so her son, who is a drug addict, had a baby with a girl who's a drug addict, and they took him from, CPS took him, gave him to the grandmother. She came and got him, and then she wanted us to adopt him, which we did. And we loved
By
him and taken
us,
care.
who we call
My
him?
husband and I, who died earlier this year.
Okay.
He passed away. Since he
Sorry to
passed
hear that.
away, she's been trying to fight me for him and being really horrible to me and that kind of stuff. She's kind of the paternal friend.
Okay, thank
Does
you.
that make sense?
That's
I'm
what I
sorry.
needed. The paternal grandmother.
He has autism and ADHD. He doesn't really talk to people. Like he's very special needs. So I had him in a special needs school there. She was trying to, so what happened was my husband, who we were married for 15 years and had raised all these 5 kids together, switched his life insurance policy to her, right?
To
his sister,
okay.
who got $1 million when he died, and we got nothing. For me to raise JJ, and all the kids got nothing, and everybody got nothing. She got $1 million. So I knew she was going to try to sue me for him, or
JJ?
Yeah, because she now has this $1 million, so she can hire people to help him, and I have nothing.
But you have legal custody.
He's my son. I adopted him when he
Right.
was 2 years. We had him from the time he was 8 months old till 2 years old. So she does nothing that wants to cause me trouble. So I don't tell people the truth about where we are and what we're doing because of those reasons. So I look like a suspect, but I am not a good person. I've raised all of my kids. I've done everything that I'm supposed to do in life, but everyone is causing me trouble right now. So
We don't want to cause a lot of trouble. How long have you been here?
we've only been here since September.
Okay.
We moved up here in September. My daughter to go to BYUI.
Your daughter goes to BYUI?
Yeah.
Does she live here?
So it's been a nightmare, but I'm going to go back to Arizona so I can put him back in the special needs school. He couldn't do the school here. It was too hard for him. He would scream and cry, take him to school. The principal would have to come out, try to drag him out of the car. Like, it just was too hard. But I just don't tell people where I am. I don't tell her where I am ever.
Okay.
And she doesn't have any legal rights to anything. Like, she's been horrible to me since my husband died.
My understanding, she never called you to try to get the child, hey, I'm interested in the child back, but that.
I know, but she sends me these emails with like the dates and like she's putting up court stuff, like she's documenting. I haven't heard from him in all this time, and so I've told her that he's fine. But
See, and we hadn't heard any of that as far as,
I'm just saying she's doing this as part of that.
Yeah.
Is my understanding.
and our only concern in this whole thing
Yeah, is that he's fine.
is the child.
I got it.
And so that's where we're at on the, and then
So
we
I
were just a
called
little
her.
weirded out when
you know, and I understand now that we've heard your side of the story.
It's awful. I feel like I'm being tracked all the time. I'm like, why are police coming to my door? What did I do?
They said they were out visiting with 2 guys, and I'm assuming one's your brother.
Who was this? Yeah.
Who was the other one? The other guy they were visiting with. There were 2.
Visiting.
Well, we had 2 detectives over here trying to.
Looking for you a little while ago.
Oh, because I was at the store.
And they ran into probably one of your brothers.
My brother and his friend, probably.
Oh, who's
They've been
that?
moving. Chad.
Chad from around here?
Mm-hmm.
What's his last name? Yeah, okay. All right.
So it's just a mess that just constantly causing me trouble.
Chad the D-A-Y-B-E-L-L?
Mm-hmm. He's an author.
Doesn't he live like out in the, isn't that the Chad Daybell that, did his wife pass away recently? Is that him?
I don't know.
I bet it is. Chad the D-A-Y-B-E-L-L. Yeah.
But it sounds familiar as an author.
I think I know one of his. Has he got a couple of daughters?
He has lots of kids.
Okay. I'll bet it's safe. All right. Well, maybe anything else? Sorry to bother you.
Thank you.
Okay.
We don't mean to be a problem.
I'm sorry
We just-
that people are constantly knocking on my door looking for me, and I just don't want to be found. So
Have you had problems? Because I think we've only had.
well, the reason I'm moving is because the brother that was going to kill me, that we found emails and texts with my husband at the time, came showing up here. So he found out where I was, and he was knocking on my door.
No, this was your brother?
One of my brothers.
He showed up here and was knocking on your door.
He lives in Kansas.
And you said something about you were getting threatening emails?
Well, no, just after my husband passed, I found emails and texts between them that they were planning all this stuff to get rid of me.
Do we need to worry about him coming over?
Well, that's when I'm moving back. I'm moving, and I'm not going to be in a place. I'm going to live with my friend, Melanie. Don't tell her.
Oh, you can call. Take care of it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, I just, just a nightmare. I mean, I canceled the insurance policy since my husband passed, so there's no money if they kill me. And what are they going to do with JJ and Tylee? Like, what do people think?
Okay.
So.
Well, if you have a problem, show us back up, feel free to call us. We'll come and run him off or something. Okay? All right.
Appreciate it.
Okay, we'll get out of here. Sorry to bother you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
See ya.
When Detective Hermosillo and Detective Hope could not contact Melanie Gibb a few minutes later from this encounter, we went back to her door to inquire about how we could get a hold of Melanie Gibb.
Lori? Hi, Lori. Sorry to bother you again. We're having
Melanie,
getting a hold of your friend down there, Melanie.
Well, they were going to Frozen 2 today, so they may be at the movies.
could you get a hold of her at some point and say, can you please call back the officer that's been trained to call you?
Okay, sure.
'Cause-
Yeah, because I think they are at the movies right now.
Okay, he's been trying to call her or other officer. She's not answering.
Okay.
But if they're at the movie, that's,
Probably at Frozen 2 right now.
Yeah.
Because that's the one thing he wanted to do.
I'm frozen too.
Yeah,
Frozen 2 is so
Yeah.
cold here.
So-
I don't know if I can handle a whole winter here. That's probably why.
yeah. So if she'll just return his call, that'd be great. Okay, thanks.
She's going on and on about all these people trying to kill her, her brother, Charles, Kay. She is extremely paranoid.
I used to say to her, why is everybody in your life turning into zombies? Like, why is everybody after you? Like, why? I don't understand. And she would say, well, it's because, Satan really hates me, and I'm because of my exaltation on the level that I'm exalted to, they're coming straight after me.
I wonder how she acts when the cops are not there. Can you imagine? I mean, it's probably worse than we could ever imagine. The final thing I want to play to you is, to me, it's joyous. A jail call between Chad Daybell and Lori the first day that they came to his property to search when they found the remains.
A call from and code for an inmate at Madison County Jail. This crime is subject to recording and monitoring. If you don't wish to help, hang up now. Thank you for using Telmate.
Hello?
Are you okay?
So they're searching the property.
The house right now?
Yeah. Yeah. So, Mark means will be talking to you.
Okay. What, are they in the house?
No, they're out in the property.
Are they seizing stuff again?
They're searching. There's a search warrant, and so one of them just stood in with the kids.
Okay.
Yeah, so you tried to set up a call. Glad you called.
Yeah.
So we'll see what transpires.
Okay.
Yeah, don't.
What do you want me to do? Pray.
What?
What do you want me
Yeah,
to
pray.
do?
So, yeah.
Okay. What can I do for you?
I'm feeling pretty calm. I would call Mark, though, maybe. Just talk with him.
Have you talked to him already?
I did call him, yes.
So he knows what they're doing?
Yeah. It's like a call from somebody else I need to talk to. I love you so much.
Okay, I love you. Should I try to call you later?
I don't know. I don't know. We can try, yeah. I'll answer if I can.
Okay.
I love you, and we'll talk soon.
Okay, baby. I love you.
Okay. Love you. Good night.
So that is all I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.